Hey, good morning. I'm horticulturist Gary Bachman. It's time for another daily dose of hort. Well, obviously we're undercover here today because last night those thunderstorms came rolling through. They're still rolling through. I mean, we're going to hear some thunder while we do this. And we got 8.27 inches of rain in the rain gauge this morning. That's a lot of rain. So hence we're undercover. What I wanted to do this morning was show you another tip that we were doing with the tomatoes, the densely sowing the seeds into a container and then teasing the seeds out. Now here we've got this is a container. These are Fresno peppers. I don't know if you can see how many peppers are in that. I'm not going to grow them all, but I just wanted to try this. You know, if you remember the tomatoes, I was growing in, starting them in these 6-packs. And I just wanted to try this little bit of a bigger pot just to see if it would make a bigger root system and a bigger transplant. And so far, I like this. Now, we're going to use a tip that I learned from Joe Lample, and I knew this, I forgot it, he reminded me, where when we take these dense seedlings out, we want the mix to be dry. And what'll happen with that, if I can get them out, we can see how dry this mix is, how it's just crumbling out. What this will do, this will let me tease these seedlings, these little plants out really easy. See, we've got a good batch of roots there. And then to transplant, what he was doing with the tomatoes was laying the seedlings down like this, again with dry mix, and pushing them in. I tell you, I thought that was a brilliant tip, and I've been playing with that with these. See, nice robust root system. Go ahead and that gives you a little more room, Kate. Lay it down and push right where the roots start and where the stem is. And just push that in, and you think, man, Gary, you're manhandling those things. And you want to know something? Little seedlings like this, they're tough. Think about what they have to go through when they're out in the garden, and the storms and the rain and the wind beating them up. See that? See how they pull apart like that? If they can handle the outside environment, they can handle me pushing them around a little bit here. Again, we're just gonna push that in there like that. I kind of like this a lot better than taking it and punching a hole with my finger. And then I always worry about kind of jamming the roots up. And here I am worrying about jamming the roots when I'm just jamming them into the pots, right? But I really like this technique. And a lot of times when you've got a lot of seedlings to do, this is a really quick way to get these potted up. And then I'm gonna do one more. And then what I'll do is here, Kate will zoom in on this. I'll put these in a trays with no holes, and I'll just go ahead and water them in. And I'm not going to push them down anymore. I'm going to let the water settle around the roots. I like to do that when planting out in the garden. Dig the hole, kind of put the plants in, and we'll get a shot of this here. This middle one, Kate, I'm going to flood it, and I want to be able to see the water going down in there. So we'll flood that container and see how that settles in. So that's settling in the mix all around the roots of these seedlings. And we'll put a tag in here so I know what that group is. Now I tell you, I really like Fresno peppers, and so I'm gonna keep this batch. So that means I have to make a label. Always have some labels handy. Use a good marker. These are these garden markers that I've shown before. These are way better than the, believe it or not, than the permanent Sharpies. But always label everything. And I'm just gonna stick that in there. And to tell you the truth, before I get to the next batch, I'll water those in a little bit, because I've kind of beat those up a little bit there, but they'll be fine. So anyways, as you can see, I've got quite a few peppers to do here. Each pot is a different variety, and we'll show you how they grow through the season as we do more of these as we get later on into the summer. So thanks for joining us this morning, and we'll see you next time for another Daily Dose of Hort.